are live. We are live. We are live. Go live. Going live. Going live. Very excited to be live this morning. I'm actually live. Yesterday I was not live, but I thought I did a good presentation, so I'm redoing it. Anyways, welcome everybody. The stream has already been a lot of fun over here. Carl Lewis, I need your Twitter handle. If you can share that, then I will be able to send you your XRP. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. I've missed you. I've missed you a lot. So let's get started. So this morning, our XRP spotlight is on green eggs and ham. Sam I am is how he was often referred. And I was stalking his Twitter a couple days ago and just ran across some great things about us. So I had to showcase them and let you know where I got them. And so he is in the spotlight. Nonetheless, I'm only going to talk about this for not even 30 seconds because it has to do with conspiracy theories. However, he did drop this video yesterday about the quantum financial system being live. I have heard of this before. It comes intermingled with aliens if you go out and read the internet sometimes. And during this video, he called me Curious George. WTF? I'm not curious. I'm sincerely George. So just in case you forgot, my name is Sincerely. Interesting concepts that he covers there, but it has to do with conspiracy, and I'm really all about people doing their own research and knowing their stuff. So, don't use this as a hype. Instead, use it as something to put into your pipe and smoke. Nonetheless, what he did plug me into is how XRP is taking over BTC in the US. And this really points back to, the amount of people actually searching for information on Ripple and XRP. And that's what this article goes into. Yesterday, I spent too much time on this. There's much more stuff towards the end that I want to get to, that I think is much more important. But here, we're talking about in the United States, the search for XRP and Ripple is much higher than even Bitcoin, right? And Bitcoin has the brand identity. The first to market is the one that gets all the brand identity. And everybody talks about, when people talk about digital assets and cryptocurrency, they are often thinking about Bitcoin. Nonetheless, people are searching more for how to buy XRP than they are for Bitcoin. That changes when we go out around the globe. People are looking more for Bitcoin. Nonetheless, again, it has the brand authority around the globe. And from that perspective, people know and trust Bitcoin. When they start thinking about XRP and start even going even a little bit below the surface as a standard citizen, not a bank, not an institutional organization, they start seeing that it's connected with banks, and they may not get to the point of seeing that transactions are not stoppable, that it's more trustworthy, that it doesn't allow for the money shifting and games that traditional banks may have participated in. So I'm not surprised that globally, Bitcoin is still in the lead, but I think this is really speaking to a turning of the tides, and something that we need to remember, especially with all the media attention that XRP has been getting recently, positive news plus, discussions and FaceTime on the news. And I just came over here to touch my mouse, and I need to tell you, I got a new toy. I can't even see my videos, so I can't see if I'm showing it properly. I got a gimbal. Ugh. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to play with this thing. Yes, it's my new toy. Yes. And it comes with this thing, with a tripod, which I have a couple tripods. I bought far too many tripods this weekend, but I'm excited. I put it over by my mouse so that I could show it with you. And yeah, I'm excited. I haven't even figured out how to configure it. I went to bed early yesterday and went to the gym this morning. So I am actually doing my lazy fit girl, and it was a very lazy workout. But let's keep going. I didn't talk about that yesterday because I didn't work out yesterday. But another thing that I found on Green Eggs and Ham Sam's stream was this, that XRP has 6 times more tweets about it than the average coin. Drawing our own conclusion about that, it simply means it's much more popular than average. And if you come out here, this is the article that it's pointing to, and it talks, one of the things that is true is that, just trying to get hype. And I talked about hype yesterday also, so let me pause here for a second, because David, I'm sorry, I believe it was Bubba had asked, what is hype when I was talking about Cinnamon the other day? And hype is the way that you like a video in the Cinnamon platform. There's no way to dislike a video currently in that platform. Instead, there's a button that says hype, and you click it, and that is like giving somebody a thumbs up for their video. So in the Cinnamon platform, a featured video, when you hype it, it has the opportunity to be showcased as a featured video. So the idea of being able to feature and get more face time for your product is often advanced by different companies by creating fake Twitter profiles, by creating fake, Facebook profiles. And, as they're talking about here in regards to Tron, social media manipulation and buying followers isn't confined to Twitter. On Facebook, Justin Sun has 6 million likes, while the largest exchange in crypto, Coinbase, has only 187,000. So it's stats like that that make you question, okay, so what's going on? And we always complain that people say that the XRP community is full of bots, but the fact of the matter is, part of the reason is that we're such a unified community of people. We're working together, we're trying to communicate with each other across time zones. And so we have hashtags that we use repetitively. The use of hashtags is something that corporations and businesses do to try and get their product trending, getting consumers and early adopters to talk about it and to have conversations. A hashtag enables you to search within Twitter for a hashtag. You can also do the same in Instagram, and I think Facebook as well. I don't use Facebook at all, but you can use it as well to search for all of the discussions that are happening on a hashtag. And Ripple is the outlier, however, with 4.7. But if you include the amount of comments that utilize the different hashtags that we have, it spikes up to 6.66. So XRP Community, XRP the Standard, and XRP Army are the three hashtags that are highlighted as totally increasing the amount of how did they refer to this at the top? Sorry for the massive scroll. Hype. And in regards to this article, what they were pointing to is this probably not the most scientific method of identifying, how many conversations are going on. And when, there's some of these tokens that are up here, and I need to increase the size of my screen so that you guys can see it here. But you see the hype ratio on some of these garbage coins like Token Pay, Electronium. And, if somebody is invested in these, I'm sure you've done your own research and you are happy. Be happy with what you invested in. But these are the ones that are super hyped. I was a little bit surprised by Digibytes. Digibytes has been around for a while. So one of the things that, made me question the validity of this information is what is the period that they're looking at the data for, right? There's no information about how long they're actually looking at the tweet history for, because some of these projects have been around, it's like Digibytes. I think it was created in around 2014. I don't have the date top of mind. So is it back from a period when this was really high? It still doesn't speak to the fact that if I go all the way across, they have a hype to activity ratio of 153. XRP is down here at number 29, and as you see, we have the 4.07. But the interesting thing about this is that XRP is being talked about more than Ethereum, Dash, Litecoin, Tron down here, right? Like this I found pretty interesting because I thought Tron would be above us, but Tron actually has a hype factor of 0.54, and Tether, right? Every time Tether has something going wrong, people are talking about it, but it still only has a hype factor of 0.003. So, between the two articles that I pointed out that, I found when stalking Sam, people are searching for how to buy Ripple at XRP. They're searching for how to buy Ripple, I believe is the phrase that they're searching for that got captured. But they're searching for information on how to buy XRP. And in addition to that, we have a lot of hype around it. And I don't want to say it's hype as in fake hype. I think there's a lot of excitement around it. And we have a lot of smart people in our community who are constantly talking about the news that's coming out, constantly talking about the different different impacts that partnerships and and launches of products are having on the XRP ecosystem, and that is extremely positive for us. So I don't think it's hype. I don't think that we have a bunch of bots in our community, but there are bots in other communities, and I don't know if this information speaks to the fact that Twitter is doing a better job of stopping bots. They have some rules that prevent people from just over spamming information, but I thought it was pretty exciting. Both of these pieces of information excite me considerably. So open business, I had to actually create a page about this just so that I would remember. Carl Lewis, I need your Twitter handle, or if you don't have a Twitter handle, then I need to know which charity you want your XRP to go to, because I know during that live stream you had said you wanted it to go to charity. So definitely let me know. So, and thank you very much, Titanium, for tweeting out the fact that we are streaming now. So let's keep going, because I think we're about to get into the part that I really want to talk about. So as I had mentioned earlier in the week, and I'm running out of time already. What the heck? Oh my goodness, all this time up here. I'm doing better though than I was yesterday. But all this week was supposed to be about Cinnamon, as about Cinnamon video, right? Not just Cinnamon, because we know that the digital asset investor puts it in his coffee, but I'm talking about Cinnamon Video, the platform. This week was supposed to be all about Cinnamon Video and Coil, and then the fact that none of the non-content creators could get in there was like, I am definitely not going out there in a bathing suit. No, I am not, but I have started working out, so you guys got me doing that. So, but the whole thing about the fact that Spring has given a grant of 1 billion XRP to Coil is mind-boggling. 1 billion XRP. I'm just trying to fill my small bag, right? 1, 2, 3, and they got 1 billion like right off the top. I don't even have that much hair on my head, and I have a lot of hair, right? So it's a lot. It's a lot. And then when you think of the current price point, it comes down, but we're still talking about millions of dollars worth of value. And I value XRP. So this is something that has been mind-boggling me for a while. And so I still want to dig into Coil, Spring, and not so much Cinnamon Video. I'll let that fall to the side a little bit. Maybe I'll come back to that because I have my own personal announcement. But, building the Internet of Value 1 year later, this is from Ethan Beard. And this was published on July 2nd, but I thought it was really good because when I went down this rabbit hole of Spring, Coil, it's deep, and I wasn't even, I cut a whole bunch of stuff off of this video, but Xbrain has quickly grown, and to date we have committed 500 million. So this is July 2nd. They've already committed 500 million in support of over 20 companies, ranging from independent developer projects to large scale partnerships. And they're really focused on 2 areas, which I think is interesting. They're interested in building the best crypto infrastructure through contributions to open source crypto projects. Yes, that is the number one reason why I am not an Apple iPhone developer, because it's not open source. So they're all about building and contributing to open source projects that, like the XRP Ledger and the Interledger project, and to help innovate blockchain projects that grow through partnership and investments, right? And this is also another thing I wanted to point out. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I found a highlighter tool. Yep, yippers. So the Xspring team is building a robust developer platform by offering resources such as tools, libraries, services for developers on the XRP Ledger and Interledger protocol. So this is pretty key because so a little bit about me. I moved to San Francisco for a startup that I was working on, and it was an app to build apps. And the whole concept was that we would build out this developer community, people that would create their own APIs to existing software or existing solutions, or small micro solutions which you could fit together. It was very much like If Then Else, which is an application out there that you can use to trigger, if something happens on my phone, then trigger this other, if something happens on my phone, on the internet, or wherever, then trigger this other action. So it's a form of automation that we can use independently. But instead of creating a bunch of bloatware where everybody has to develop their own top to bottom solution, you can think of it sort of like a house where if you're going to build a house, you have to do the foundation, you have to do the walls, you have to do, the flooring, the bathrooms, the bedrooms, the kitchen, all of those have to be done independently. Whereas if you think about Lego, right, where you can take Lego's a bad example, but if you think about, more modular solutions, and this is a bad example for a bunch of dudes, but if you think about modular solutions like makeup, right? Makeup that women use, you get your blush, you get your eyeshadow, you get your mascara. The different pieces come together. You're not expected to go out and build all of the different pieces independently because it takes a lot of effort and a lot of time to develop that. So I think this line here is really important because they want to develop a robust developer platform by offering resources such as tools, libraries being plug and play functionality that you can plug into your solution, and services for developers developing on the XRP ledger and interledger protocol. So these next two articles that I've highlighted here are really speaking to, their investment of $20 million into Imager, yes, Imager, I got it right. I'm trying to do better with names, but Imager, right, which is another creator platform where people create images and GIFs and they share them so that they can become more profitable there. And then this other article, which talks about the $1 million grant to drive XRP adoption through Coil's monetization. So, Spring is offering this up, and an interesting connection here is that Coil is then connected to Coil is now connected to Cinnamon Video. So instead of Spring doing all the work, you've got Coil playing a role in facilitating development and partnerships to help grow the community, right? And all of that is coming from Spring through to Coil. So, um, uh, 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 I'm going to skip this because there's other things I want to talk about here, and I'm out of time already. But I really want. I'm going to be rolling out more on this topic. So let me just wrap up a little bit more because I think it's important. So, in digging in on Spring from the developer perspective, which I haven't invested any time. Let me just say that I have not invested any time in focusing on furthering the XRP ledger or working as playing with any of the tools that they offer. But this website, the Spring website, right, and Spring is an arm of Ripple, is constructed in a way that is attractive to a developer. All right, let me go to GitHub, which is like, we don't like your account. Oh, so GitHub, right, is much more attuned, right? Like the thing I'm trying to point out here is that you've got it just looks attractive to a developer, right? What will you find here? And there's other white websites like never mind. I'm going off the rails again. But this website has the appeal to a developer. It's grainy. It's all about working together. This is probably a picture from one of the hackathons. It's very lightweight. It just tells you what you can get here. And then they've got, jobs. This is actually Spring jobs and jobs at Ripple. But then they've got resources, right, that plug into all of the different tools and frameworks that they currently have available. So they're talking about Ripple, which is for the XRP ledger, the XRPL, Ripple.com, the dev blog, the interledger blog, and it's really just plugging users into what they will be able to do so that they can actually start developing. So when you're trying to develop a developer community, you need a group of people that are just there to support them. And this is the number one piece that lays below Coil. So Coil at its highest level, when most people that I talk to or who are using Coil right now, they're just using the Coil payment pointer, right? And you can use the XRP Tipbot payment pointer, and they've created some others that you can use. But under the hood is this whole web monetization, what do I want to call it? Specification. Um, along with the different APIs, application programming interfaces, and all it defines everything that this thing can do. So at the highest level, you have the derivative, the outcome, the part that is easy to use. But under the hood, you've got this web monetization platform that enables, everything that we talk about when we talk about Coil, micropayments. And one of the things that's key here and is still defined as part of the design goals, not necessarily, fully realized, is that a user's browser should give users browser a choice about how much to spend and which sites to support. So we currently utilize Coil. You pay a one-time subscription, and then anybody who's monetized gets equal payout. I know that they have their booster program or some program that will enable you to earn a little bit more by if your stuff has been hyped on the Coil platform. But the idea that if I am the New York Times and I implement Coil on my website, I could transition from a subscription-based program where people are only paying me for reading in the newspaper to a tiered program. And because of the amount of people that they have to hire and keep on staff just to create their news, their costs are much higher. They are not going to be getting the same amount as a content creator such as myself, who is doing it right here, over here. So there has to be this way of enabling people to say, no, I'm not providing my content unless it's being sold for this much, and others to say, yeah, whatever you'll give me, right? So there's still a lot of build out that needs to happen in this space, and I'm really excited about what Spring is doing and the different directions that they're going. And I'd like to focus in on some of those a little bit more. So I'm done. I still have tabs over here that I wanted to get to, but the tab that we're going to go to and spend some time on is Payru Crypto, because Payru, I won 25 XRP on the XRP Zoo the other night. So I have 25 XRP to give away. I don't need to keep it. I didn't want to win. I was responding to Bubba Shipes. Bubba Shipes had said something about something, and we won't do overlap here. And I responded to that and I won. I'm just a very lucky girl. So I feel honored and privileged. And yes, so we have 25 XRP to give away. And it's due to the gracious contributions of Payru Crypto. So thank you very much, Payru. And thank you and congratulations on the birth of your child that's upcoming. Congratulations. So what do you guys think about what's going on with Coil, about the 1 billion XRP that has been rolled out? So I'm looking forward to those comments down here. I am going to go and see who's in the stream. And I'm sorry it took me so long to get there, but you know who the first person was in this? Oh, it got rid of a lot. Oh my goodness, I don't like this streaming software. Bubba Shipes was the first person in, and I think he may be gone already. But Bubba Shipes, David D, Bubba Shipes, David D, Carl Lewis, they were the first ones here, and I was talking to them this morning. It was wonderful, talking before I even got started. But at the top of my stream here, I see Bob Moneybags, The Project, Albertina, Carl Lewis, who else is here? Danny Torres, RTB, who else? Jungle Ink. Jungle Ink was here too. Yay! He said he would be here. Lionel. Who else is here? Who else is here? Who else is here? Okay. Crypto Girl. Wow. Holy cow. I feel so honored. Wow. Wow. Miss Maria, awesome to have you here. Javon, awesome to have you here. I'm still having problems with the music, Javon. I'm not that smart yet. Birdie. Oh, who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? OM Ryan, Inspired Champion. Awesome to have you here. The Hoyle Review. The Hodl Review. I'm sorry, I got your name wrong. And Titanium. Titanium is here as well. Thank you so much for stopping in. I really appreciate you being here. So, and oh my goodness, you guys are just chatting it up. I feel like I could just talk and you guys just have a party at the same time. It's awesome. Anthony Jackson, Calvin Knight, Beautiful Queen. That's a great name. You should keep using that one. Chucky, awesome to have you here as well. Oh my goodness, there's so many people here. I'm so happy you guys are here. You have to tell me what you think about this stuff. Aaron, awesome, 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 awesome. So the technical guru, the great Pate, awesome, great to have you here as well. So what do you, XRP Angel Connie, always, always a pleasure. So what do you guys think about this? I find a billion XRP, right? Like, why didn't they give me a billion XRP? I would spread some of it around, at least a little bit, right? But a billion XRP, it makes me question exactly what coil will be used for. And it was actually a comment from Jungle Inc. in regards to, and there was a conversation a couple days ago between Jungle Inc. and Bob Way in regards to, what's up with this, billion XRP. And it's not like anybody was attacking it, but it was like, you know, coil must be a lot larger. This whole coil thing must be a lot larger if, they're donating that much XRP or granting that much XRP to coil. What is it being used for? And Bob Way came back with penny stitching. And that's what took me down this trail of, okay, so what would that mean? How would that work? And, I went out and I listened to Ethan Beard. Actually, it was Chris Larson and Stephen Thomas who were doing a Google, like Google, I think they call it Google Talks, where they really laid it out. And the whole idea, and this was a year ago that they did this, and the whole idea of, the micropayments and what they were trying to do was well visualized by Stefan. And it made me better understand this whole penny stitching or penny switching concept, but I still don't feel like I fully understand the power and capability that Coil is going to provide us. Yes, I understand the idea of web monetization and an alternative method for monetization. Yesterday, part of the reason why my screen is the size that it is because I tried to block advertisements, right? I don't want all the crud that they're trying to show me on the right hand side. I do not need another Venus bikini, right? Even though they have completely free shipping now. Does not matter. I don't need another one. And so if we start looking at different monetization models, then what is that going to be like? And David D says, your streams are getting better and better. Coil is like a development arm. RL can gift to Coil and trust that they will responsibly support and build the XRP ecosystem. I completely agree, David, and thank you very much for the compliment. I am working hard to provide good content. It just takes time because Pareto's rules rule in my life. So, um, you know, I just think that there's more. I agree with you, and I'm not trying to go into conspiracy here, but I think there's more behind Coil that we're not seeing. And if we come out to this developer website again, we sort of, in just digging into some of this stuff here, right, you start to learn that. Like, this one was interesting. This Bolt Labs, right? This is a privacy, instant, cheap, and private payments. So, in the XRP ecosystem, we're not really talking a lot about privacy, and we're talking about transparency for global transfers. And on this Bolt Labs website, they are partnered with Xspring, but there's no mention of XRP on here. The only things that are mentioned are Zcash, Bitcoin, and Ethereum, right? But they're a Spring partner, and it's all about privacy. So it really so we have Xspring right here, but you don't see XRP splattered on here, right? Instead, you see these other technologies which may have better developer adoption right now, a longer history of working with those developer communities. Titanium says address. Yes, I know. It's like spam. It's all over the net. And okay, so what else do you guys think about this? I think Pate needs some time to think before he posts. Okay, I'm looking. A billion XRP is a quadrillion drops. Yes, it's a lot. It's a lot. Bubba Shade says, U.S. Secretary of State Pompeo says crypto should be regulated like SWIFT and other electronic financial transactions. I think we're already headed that way, right? I really do. I think, and if we're gonna have large megacorps such as banks using crypto, then the regulation has to be there to wrap around it. It can't be this rogue area where people can go out and skirt the systems. It has less to do with you and me, and more to do with large, well-funded organizations being able to cut the government out, as well as money laundering and terrorist financing. You need the rules to minimize the profitability that large organizations can have from working with bad actors in the system. So I think it's really important that regulation comes in here. Nonetheless, I would like privacy around my transactions so that I can go and buy, I can go buy a gimbal and not everybody knows. Like, where's my secret sauce if everybody knows what the heck I'm doing all the time? Have you, Anthony said, or Ajax says, have you seen The Great Pate? I have. I have. So, any other comments about this? Oh, yes, Zbits was here too. Zbits was here first. He was one of the first people here, which is awesome. Awesome. I'm very grateful that he was here. So, I'm a minute over. I actually was completely on time yesterday when I wasn't streaming. I was supposed to be streaming, and then I was done. And I saw I didn't push the live button. I went out and I was like, "Are you serious? I wasn't live." Only to find out that the chat was working outside of my stream, which was very frustrating. But I was starting to get my days more in control, so I was just like, "Whatever. I'm not restreaming it. This is a lot of great content. I will talk about it tomorrow." So I want to go down this rabbit hole a little bit more because I'm really excited. I'm most excited about developers getting involved with the XRP ecosystem. I know that that is going to drive long-term adoption. And I think, you can't have a successful technology solution if developers aren't excited about it and aren't ready to start developing for it. That's where you get a lot of traction. So I have a giveaway to do. Good morning, Notorious. Awesome to have you here. Thank you for all of the good works that you do to create videos that are better than Netflix. Yay, we have our own creator here. Yes, Titanium is one of my favorites, constantly boosting us up and giving us some positive energy with the singing. All right, so we are going to, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry, excuse me. Excuse me. All right, so I have 25 XRP to give away. I already have a number in my mind because it's one of my favorite numbers. So I'm going to give away 25 XRP, and I have a favorite number. So the word of the day is coil because I love coil. I love coil. So just type coil into the chat, and I won't tell my number because then people will start going with that. Hello, Rico. I'm so happy you came in to learn about some XRP. Rico, this is totally about XRP. Rico Suave has a channel where he talks about his investment strategy in the traditional markets and always is keeping it live by telling us about his real-time trades, which is very awesome. So the first coil that I see is from Running on Crypto. All right, I see you. I will hold you. All right, so I am excited about what's going on in our ecosystem, and I think that coil plays a much bigger role than we think. So I'm going to let this roll for. Actually, I will do random. I hate being difficult. 1, 2. I'll tell you what my favorite number is. 44. So you guys have to get more in there, because that's the maximum. But okay, wow, maybe I've already hit 44. So we'll let that run for a minute. I might not be able to use my number. I'm in a really good mood today. I went to the gym this morning. I did my morning routine, which is a lot of frou-frou, girly girl, hippie stuff. And it was awesome. I'm feeling fantastic. And I'm just really excited about what we have going on in the XRP community. The fact that, there is so much good going on, that there are developers working day and night. Yes, they work day and night and live on pizza. I've done it. I love to do it. And yeah, that we have hype, but if you go out, you don't see a bunch of garbage hype out there. It's all about the good news that's going on, the partnerships, the projects that people are doing, the people getting involved in the ecosystem, people being on Coil, alternative ways of transferring money, people tipping each other, right? Like, how does the tip bot, the XRP tip bot, come into that? Like, that is what I am interested in. So let's boost this up to, I think the last time I counted this, I can get 100 in at a time. Runs on Coil, 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 Coil. The second I'm going to do some magic here. Runs on Coil. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 20. So that's 1, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So we're at 620. So we are actually at 120 is our number here. All right, and our magic number is 36. All right, 36. 36. Who's 36? All right, runs on Ripple. All right, let me do this transition. There we go. You guys might be able to count faster than me. I transition. So runs on Ripple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. XRP Angel Connie is our winner! Woohoo! Congratulations, Connie. I am so happy for you. Let's transition back. I got it back. So XRP Angel Connie, I will send that out to you through the XRP tip bot. And with that, I am almost ready to go. So as you guys know, I have been I applied for a job. I talked about that in one of my videos, and as luck would have it, I told my boss that I was looking at a position inside our company, and they've changed my job. They have reassigned me to do what I actually want to do. It's a bit scary. It happened yesterday, but yeah, I'm pretty excited, a little bit scared. Today is going to be a hard day at work because I got my development environment all set up yesterday, so I'm ready to actually develop. It was like, oh yeah, just do this part, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. I just want to get the whole thing set up. Is this right? And so I'm set. I'm ready. Now I'm ready to pick up my first story because I work in an agile environment. And so yeah, this girl runs on Coil, runs on code. So I'm excited to be going back into the office and coding again. I haven't done it for a while, and we have a pretty complex framework that we use ourselves. So it might take some more of my time. I might be working it. At nights. I'm going to try not to eat pizza, but yes, and I'm hoping that the skills that I learn doing this will, in my off hours, I'm hoping to be working with some of the technology that we have in our space. So for right now, nothing changes, but there may be a possibility that I have to change things because I have to devote more energy to just learning and growing. But we'll see. For now, I'm not changing anything. I ain't changing anything. Nothing at all. So with that, I am about to leave. Let me see if there's any good comments down here. I don't insult accurate TA. Well, good. That's good, Calvin. That's really good. If it's accurate, don't insult it. You'll just make yourself look like an idiot. Thank you so much, Danny. I think it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited about it. And talk about Swell. Okay, I will talk about Swell maybe tomorrow. I will talk about Swell. Swell is on the list of things to talk about. And pizza with pineapple is good. It is. Thank you very much, Notorious. So guys, I gotta go. I'm actually going to get up. I'm working at getting to work a little bit closer to the time I want. So with that, I am over and out. Thank you, Anthony Jackson, for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And if you like today's content, please like and subscribe. And I look forward to bringing you more next time. Have a great one. Bye. I have a gimbal. I have a gimbal. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about my gimbal. I'm really excited about the gimbal. Look forward to more videos. All right, bye.